Commander June Park stood at the large window, looking out at the massive ship being built in space. The metal frame looked like a skeleton against the darkness. Stars twinkled in the background. This ship broke at least 17 rules of the Galactic Confederation. But Earth's leaders had said yes to building it after aliens called the Zelnar attacked the new Sol colony. "How is it going?" June asked, his eyes never leaving the half-built ship. Hana Kim walked up with a thin computer pad in her hands. As the head of engineering, she tracked all the technical details. "The main engine is working at 87%, she said. "We've connected the dark matter container to the weapons system." "What about the hiding technology?" June asked. Hana frowned. "That's where we have problems. The engine makes too much energy that others can see. Any smart alien race could find us from 2 star systems away." June nodded slowly. "Have you tried using Director Tay's soundwave theory?" "Sir, that's just an idea. Nobody has ever built a ship like this either," June cut in. "Call Director Tay and get him here right now." After Hana left, June kept staring at the huge frame. The HSS Thunderbolt would be the greatest thing humans had ever built, a warship with enough firepower to match a small star. It was too powerful to be allowed under Galactic Confederation rules, but after what happened to New Sol, humans were done following alien rules. The real question was whether they could finish it before the Zelnar came back. 2 days later, June sat in his office looking at reports. The door chimed. "Come in," he called. A tall, thin man with gray hair and glasses walked in. He moved with quick, sharp steps. "Commander Park," the man said with a slight bow. "Director Tay reporting as requested." June stood up and shook his hand. "Thank you for coming so quickly, Director. We need your help." "So I heard." Director Tay's eyes sparkled with interest. "A hiding system for the most powerful warship ever built? A challenge worthy of my time." "Can it be done?" June asked directly. Tay smiled. "Anything can be done, Commander. The question is how. Show me what you have so far." The main engineering room buzzed with activity. Engineers and technicians moved quickly between workstations. Hana stood in the center, giving orders and checking readings. When she saw June enter with Director Tay, she waved them over. "Director, I'm glad you're here," she said. "We've tried everything we know. The energy output from the quantum displacement drive is just too strong to hide." Tay walked slowly around the main display table. It showed a 3D model of the Thunderbolt with colorful energy patterns flowing around it. "Impressive," he murmured. "Very impressive. But you're thinking like engineers, not physicists." He touched the display, zooming in on the engine core. "You're trying to hide the energy," he said. "That's impossible. But what if we don't hide it? What if we change how it looks?" Hana frowned. "I don't understand." "Harmonic diffusion," Tay explained. "We don't reduce the energy signature, we spread it out across thousands of harmonic frequencies. To any sensor, it would look like background radiation. Nothing special. Nothing to see." June leaned forward. "Can you build it?" "With the right team and materials, yes," Tay said. "Give me 2 weeks." "You have one," June replied. 5 days later, an alarm blared through the station. June was in the middle of a meal when his communicator beeped. "Commander, we need you on the command deck immediately," said a worried voice. When June arrived, he found Admiral Kwan waiting. The Admiral rarely left Earth, and his presence here meant trouble. "Admiral," June saluted. "What brings you to the station?" Admiral Kwan's face was grim. "The Galactic Confederation is sending inspectors. They've detected unusual energy readings from this sector." June felt his stomach drop. "When?" 2 weeks, maybe less." The Admiral handed him a data pad. "They're sending 3 ships. One of them is Zelnar." June looked at the information. "They know. They suspect," Kwan corrected. "But if they find the Thunderbolt before it's ready." He didn't need to finish. Earth had joined the Galactic Confederation only 30 years ago. They were still seen as the new primitive species. If they were caught breaking major treaties, the consequences would be severe. We need to speed up, June said. How's the diplomatic team handling this? Sun Li is leading the response. She'll stall as long as she can. The admiral looked out the window at the growing shape of the warship. Will it be ready in time? It has to be, June replied. Director Tay hadn't left the engineering bay in 3 days. When June brought him food, he found the physicist surrounded by holographic equations. Commander, Tay acknowledged without looking up. Progress? The hull is nearly complete, June reported. Weapon systems are at 70%, but we have a new problem. He explained about the inspection team. Tay seemed unconcerned. Perfect timing. Perfect? June asked in surprise. Yes. Tay flicked his hand, and the equations changed. My team just solved the final piece of the diffusion array. We'll start installing tomorrow. Will it work? In theory. Absolutely. Tay finally looked up. In practice? We'll see. But I'm optimistic. 1 week later, June stood on the bridge of the HSS Thunderbolt for the first time. Though still under construction, the main systems were operational enough for initial testing. Power up the quantum displacement drive, he ordered. 20% only. The bridge crew, all hand-picked for their skills and discretion, moved with practiced efficiency. Lights flickered as the massive engine came to life. Drive online, reported the chief engineer, holding at 20%. Now activate Director Tay's diffusion array, June said. Tay himself stood at the main science station. His fingers danced across the controls. Array engaging in 3, 2, 1, now. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then the overhead. Lights dimmed slightly. Is it working? June asked. Tay watched his readings. A smile spread across his face. See for yourself. He sent the data to the main screen. It showed the Thunderbolt's energy signature as seen from outside. Before the array activated, it was a bright, obvious beacon. After activation, it had vanished, completely. It's working perfectly, Tay said proudly. To any observer, we're just background noise, invisible in plain sight. June felt a weight lift from his shoulders. Well done, Director, his communicator beeped. Commander, this is Hana. You need to come to the weapons bay immediately. Problem? He asked. No, sir, Hana replied, and June could hear excitement in her voice. Breakthrough. The main cannon just tested at 300% above projections. June looked around at his bridge crew. For the first time in months, he allowed himself to feel hope. Keep testing the diffusion array, he told Tay. I'll be back soon. As he walked through the corridors of the massive warship, June thought about what they were creating. The Thunderbolt wasn't just a weapon. It was humanity's statement to the galaxy. We will not be victims again. The Zelnar had thought humans were weak. They would soon learn how wrong they were. The meeting room was quiet. 5 people sat around the round table looking at the large screen on the wall. It showed a woman with short black hair speaking from an office on Earth. The Galactic Confederation representative is demanding to inspect our shipyards, said Sun Li, Earth's top diplomat. Her usually calm face showed signs of worry. Admiral Kwan banged his fist on the table. And what reason did they give this time? They say they detected unusual energy signatures that match banned weapons technology, Sun replied, looking at her notes. Ambassador Zothal specifically mentioned grave concerns about humanity following the Treaty of Rigel. The room fell. Silent. The Treaty of Rigel was the agreement humans signed when they first met aliens. It listed many technologies that were not allowed, technologies the Thunderbolt used in great numbers. How long can you keep them away? June asked. Sun thought, for a moment. 2 weeks, maybe 3. I can use bureaucratic rules and set up many preliminary meetings. That's not enough time, Director Tay said. The brilliant physicist had made great progress on the stealth system, but needed more time. We need at least 2 months to finish. The harmonic diffusion array. Admiral Kwan stood up. Then we need a distraction, something big enough to make them look somewhere else. What are you suggesting? June asked. I suggest we leak information about Zelnar ships near the Procyon star system. The Confederation has been looking for a reason to send more patrols there. Sun looked alarmed. That's dangerously close to spreading false information. It's about survival, the Admiral argued back. And it's not really a lie. Our deep space probes did detect strange readings there last month. June rubbed his temples. Do it. But be careful. We can't afford to lose Confederation support completely. As everyone left the meeting, June got an urgent message from Hana. Breakthrough with the weapons system. You need to see this right away. Hana was waiting in the weapons testing lab when June arrived. Her eyes were bright with excitement. Watch. This, she said, pointing to a large test chamber behind thick glass. Inside the chamber was a block of Zelnar hull material, the strongest known metal in the galaxy. The aliens had never shared it with humans, but after the attack on New Sol, Earth forces had collected debris for study. Hana pressed a button. A small version of the Thunderbolt's main weapon fired. A beam of blue-white energy hit the metal block. Instead of bouncing off or making a dent, the beam passed through the metal like it wasn't there. The block didn't melt or explode, it simply fell apart into dust. How? June asked, amazed. The quantum disruptors don't attack the physical structure, Hana explained. They attack the bonds between atoms, no heat, no explosion, just disintegration. Nothing can stand against this. June stared at the pile of dust. Can it be stopped? Can it be defended against? Not as far as we know, Hana said quietly. This isn't just a powerful weapon, Commander. This is a perfect weapon. June felt a chill run down his spine. Earth had wanted a ship that could protect humanity. They had created something far more dangerous. Double the security on this project, he ordered. No one discusses this outside this room. A week later, Director Tay called an emergency meeting. We've been discovered, he announced without greeting. Everyone in the room froze. Explain, Admiral Kwan demanded. Tay brought up a sensor reading on the main screen. This energy scan came from a probe at the edge of our solar system. It's Zelnar design, but broadcasting on Confederation channels. How did they find us? June asked. Your diffusion array works perfectly, Tay interrupted. This wasn't a random scan. They knew where to look and what to look for. Someone told them. The implication hung heavy in the air. A traitor. We need to move up the timeline, Kwan decided. How soon can the Thunderbolt be ready for launch? Hana checked her datapad. The main systems are operational. We're still missing some secondary systems, but the ship can fly and fight. And the crew? June asked. We have enough trained personnel for basic operations. About 50 people total. Admiral Kwan stood straight, his decision made. Commander Park, you have new orders. Prepare the Thunderbolt for immediate launch. Your mission is to take the ship beyond scanner range until we can deal with this diplomatic crisis. And if we're discovered? June asked. The Admiral's face was grim. Then Earth will deny all knowledge of the project. You and your crew will be listed as rogue operatives who stole experimental technology. June felt like he'd been punched. You'd abandon us? Only officially, Kwan said in a softer voice. Unofficially, if you can keep the ship safe until this blows over, you'll all come home as heroes. 2 days later, June stood on the bridge of the Thunderbolt as the skeleton crew prepared for launch. Most of the ship's interior was still unfinished, with exposed wiring and temporary walls, but the essential systems were ready. All departments report ready for launch, announced Lieutenant Day from the pilot station. Release docking clamps, June ordered. With a series of heavy clanks, the massive warship detached from the space station. For a moment, it drifted silently. Engage maneuvering thrusters. Take us away from the station, 1/4 speed. The ship moved surprisingly well for its size. On the main screen, Earth was a blue-green jewel against the blackness of space. Sir, called Officer Min from the communications station. We're receiving an emergency transmission from Admiral Kwan. Put it through, June said. The Admiral's face appeared on screen. He looked tense. Commander, situation has escalated. 3 Confederation ships just entered the system, heading directly for your location. One is Zelnar. June felt his heart race. Time to intercept? Less than an hour. You need to activate the diffusion array now and get out of the system. Understood. We'll head for the hiding spot in the Kuiper Belt as planned. The Admiral shook his head. No time. They're moving too fast. You need to leave the solar system entirely. This wasn't part of the plan. The Thunderbolt hadn't been tested for long-range flight yet. Where should we go? June asked. Anywhere they won't look, Quan answered. Good luck, Commander. Earth is counting on you. The transmission ended. June turned to his bridge crew. You all heard. We're leaving the solar system. Director Tay, activate the diffusion array. Tay worked his controls. Array active. We're now invisible to standard sensors. Lieutenant Day, set course away from the incoming ships. Maximum speed once we're clear of Earth's orbital lanes. The young pilot nodded. Course set, sir. June called to his tactical officer. Weapon status? Main weapons charged and ready, Jin replied. But sir, I hope we won't need them. We'd be firing on Confederation ships. Let's make sure it doesn't come to that, June said. All hands prepare for high-speed maneuvers. Engage quantum displacement drive when ready. The Thunderbolt accelerated away from Earth, its experimental engines pushing it faster than any human ship had gone before. On the sensor display, the 3 Confederation ships continued their approach, unaware that their target was escaping. Sir, Officer Min called out. I'm detecting a transmission from the Zelnar vessel to Earth. They're demanding the surrender of all personnel involved in the illegal weapons project and threatening sanctions. June watched as his home planet grew smaller on the screen. Record the transmission. One day we'll make them regret those threats. The ship passed the orbit of Mars, then Jupiter. The quantum displacement drive worked flawlessly, carrying them toward the edge of the solar system. Where should we go, Commander? Lieutenant Day asked quietly. We have enough fuel to reach any system within 50 light-years. June studied the star chart. They needed somewhere isolated, somewhere the Confederation rarely patrolled. Here, he decided, pointing to a small star system. The Beta Hydri system. No inhabited planets, dense asteroid fields for hiding, and rich in resources we can use for repairs and finishing the ship. Setting course, Day confirmed. As the Thunderbolt prepared to leave the solar system, June looked at the faces of his crew. They were no longer just building humanity's greatest weapon. They had become fugitives branded as criminals for creating a ship that might one day save their species. I know this isn't what any of you signed up for, he told them. But what we're doing is too important to stop now. The Zelnar attacked us once, they'll do it again. When that day comes, Earth will need the Thunderbolt. The crew nodded in agreement. Prepare for system jump, Lieutenant Day announced. The stars on the view screen stretched into lines as the Thunderbolt accelerated to jump speed. In a flash of light, Earth's ultimate warship disappeared into the depths of space, carrying with it humanity's greatest hope and greatest secret. 3 months had passed since the HSS Thunderbolt fled Earth. Hidden in the thick asteroid belt of the Beta Hydri system, the crew had worked day and night to finish the warship. Commander June Park stood in the newly completed main bridge. The temporary walls were gone, replaced by smooth metal panels. All stations were now fully operational with proper equipment. Status report, June said, looking around at his crew. All systems operational, reported Hana Kim from the engineering station. She looked tired, but proud. The quantum displacement drive is now at full capacity. Weapon systems fully calibrated, Jin added from tactical. The quantum disruptors are stable and ready for real testing. Diffusion array working perfectly, Director Tay said. We've made improvements. Now we can change our energy signature to match any known ship type. We can look like a trading vessel, a mining ship, or even a Confederation patrol cruiser. June nodded, pleased with the progress. And our supplies? We've mined enough raw materials from the asteroids to finish all system installations, Hana replied. Food and water recyclers are working at peak efficiency. We could stay out here for years if needed. But staying hidden wasn't the plan. June walked to the main view screen, which showed the dense field of asteroids around them. It's time for a real test, he decided. We need to know if this ship can do what it was built to do. A weapons test? Jin asked. A full systems test, June clarified. Lieutenant Day, plot a course to the outer edge of the system. We'll find a suitable asteroid field for target practice. The young pilot nodded. Course plotted, sir. All hands prepare for departure, June announced over the ship-wide system. Secure all stations and equipment. The crew moved with practiced efficiency, securing loose items and taking their positions. In 3 months, they had grown from a collection of specialists into a true crew. Release docking clamps, June ordered. The Thunderbolt detached from the mining equipment they had set up on a large asteroid. The massive warship moved slowly at first, then picked up speed. Engage quantum displacement drive, 1/4 power. Ship accelerated smoothly, weaving through the asteroid field with surprising grace for such a large vessel. Lieutenant Day's piloting skills had improved greatly during their time in hiding. We're clearing the asteroid field, Day reported. Open space ahead. Increase speed to half power, June ordered. Director Tay, activate the diffusion array. Make us look like a standard mining vessel. Tay worked his controls. Diffusion array active. To any scanners, we now appear to be the mining ship Stellar Excavator out of Alpha Centauri. This was the first real test of their stealth systems in open space. If they encountered any other ships, the disguise would have to hold. Sir, officer, Min called from communications. I'm detecting a ship at the edge of the system, Confederation registry. Everyone on the bridge tensed. Can they see us? June asked. Min checked her readings. They're not changing course or speed. I don't think they've noticed anything unusual. Maintain course and speed, June ordered. Let's see if our disguise holds. The Thunderbolt continued toward the outer system, its massive weapons and advanced engines hidden beneath the electronic mask of a simple mining vessel. The Confederation ship grew closer on their sensors. They're hailing us, Min reported. June thought quickly. What kind of ship is it? Standard patrol cruiser. Arconian crew. That was good luck. Arconians weren't allied with the Zelnar. I'll take the call, June decided. Audio only. Make sure our voice modulator is active. Min nodded and opened the channel. Mining vessel Stellar Excavator. This is Confederation patrol ship Vigilant Observer. Please state your business in this system, June. Took a deep breath. This is Captain Mako of the Stellar Excavator. We're on a standard mining run. Beta Hydri has rich asteroid fields. There was a pause. We show no registered mining permits for this system in your name. June had prepared for this. Check again. Permit number CCM 772904, issued by the Mining Authority on Alpha Centauri 3 months ago. Director Tay had created fake permits and inserted them into mining databases they could access remotely. It wasn't perfect, but it might work. Another pause, longer this time. Confirmed, Stellar Excavator. Your permit is in order. Be advised, this system is now under special observation due to suspected smuggling activity. Expect more patrols. Understood, Vigilant Observer. We'll keep to our assigned sectors. Safe mining, Excavator. Vigilant Observer out. The communication ended. Everyone on the bridge let out the breath they'd been holding. They bought it, Jin said with relief. This time, June cautioned. But they said there will be more patrols. We need to finish our tests quickly and move to another system. The Thunderbolt continued to the outer edge of Beta Hydri, where the asteroid field was less dense but had larger rocks. Perfect for weapons testing. Find us a suitable target, June ordered. Something at least 1 kilometer wide. Jin scanned the area. Target located. Asteroid approximately 1.2 kilometers in diameter, composed primarily of iron and nickel. Range, 50,000 kilometers. Bring us to 10,000 kilometers and hold position, June ordered. Lieutenant Day piloted the ship to the designated position. The massive asteroid filled the main view screen. Prepare all weapon systems for test firing, June said. We'll test each system individually, starting with standard kinetic accelerators. Jin activated the weapons control panel. Kinetic accelerators online and targeted. Fire. The ship shuddered slightly as the kinetic weapons launched. Ultra-dense. Projectiles shot toward the asteroid at near light speed. When they hit, chunks of the asteroid broke off, but the main body remained intact. Damage assessment? June asked. Approximately 12% of target mass destroyed, Jin reported. Standard performance for kinetic weapons. June nodded. Next, plasma lance. Plasma lance charged and ready. Fire. A brilliant beam of energy lanced out from the thunderbolt, hitting the asteroid dead center. The rock glowed red hot where the beam struck, and a large section melted away. 30% of remaining mass destroyed or rendered molten, Jin reported. Plasma lance performing above expected parameters. Now came the true test. Prepare quantum disruptors. The bridge grew quiet. This was the weapon that had turned Zelnar hull material to dust in the lab. Quantum disruptors charged and ready, Jin said, his voice solemn. Target the center mass of the asteroid, June ordered. Fire. There was no visible beam, no explosion of light. Instead, a barely perceptible ripple shot from the thunderbolt toward the asteroid. When it hit, something remarkable happened. The asteroid didn't explode, it didn't break apart. It simply disappeared. One moment it was there, a massive rock spinning in space. The next moment it was a cloud of dust, expanding slowly into the vacuum. Target eliminated, Jin said, staring at his screen in disbelief. Complete molecular disintegration. 100% effective. Silence fell over the bridge. What they had just witnessed was beyond any weapon humanity had ever created, beyond any weapon the Galactic Confederation had ever allowed. Director Tay, June finally spoke. Could this weapon be used against a planet? Tay looked uncomfortable. Theoretically, yes. The disruptors attack molecular bonds. There's no theoretical limit to what they could disintegrate given enough power. The implications were staggering. The Thunderbolt wasn't just a powerful warship. It was a planet killer. We need safeguards, June decided. Multiple authorization codes for the quantum disruptors. No single person should be able to activate them. The crew nodded in agreement. Test complete, June announced. Lieutenant Day, set course back to our hiding spot. Maximum stealth protocols. As the Thunderbolt turned to head back to its asteroid base, sensors picked up something unexpected. Sir, Officer Min called out, her voice tense. I'm detecting a small ship at extreme sensor range. It matches no known configuration. Did they see the test? June asked. Unknown. But they're changing course now. They're heading directly for Earth. June made a quick decision. Intercept course, maximum speed. We can't let them report what they've seen. The Thunderbolt surged forward, its quantum displacement drive pushing it to full power for the first time. The mysterious ship had a good head start, but the human warship was faster. We're gaining on them, Day reported. Intercept in 3 minutes. Hail them, June ordered. Min tried to establish communication. No response, sir. Can we identify them yet? June asked. Jin studied his sensor readings. Sir, it's a Zelnar scout ship. Stealth configuration. They shouldn't be in this system. June's blood ran cold. The Zelnar had found them, and if that scout reached its fleet, weapons range in 30 seconds, Jin reported. June took a deep breath. This was the moment the Thunderbolt would fire its first shot in actual combat. Target their engines, he ordered. Kinetic accelerators only. We want to disable, not destroy. Targeting, Jin confirmed. Weapons locked. Fire when ready. The Thunderbolt launched its attack. The fate of Earth now hung in the balance. Kinetic rounds away, Jin announced from the tactical station. Everyone on the bridge of the HSS Thunderbolt watched the view screen as their shots raced toward the fleeing Zelnar scout ship. The smaller vessel tried to dodge, but the human warships' targeting systems were too precise. The kinetic round slammed into the scout's engine section. Direct hit, Jin reported. Their main drive is disabled. They're still moving, Lieutenant Day observed. Backup thrusters operational. June nodded. Hail them again. Officer Min opened a channel. Still no response, Commander, but they're broadcasting a distress signal on Zelnar military frequencies. This was bad. If other Zelnar ships were in range, they would come to investigate. Can we jam their transmission? June asked. Not completely, Min replied. I can reduce the range, but some of the signal will get through. June made a quick decision. Bring us alongside them, prepare boarding teams. The crew looked surprised. This wasn't part of their training. Sir? Hana questioned. We're not equipped for boarding actions. We need to know what they saw and what they reported, June explained, and we need their ship's data cores. Director. Tae, Hana, Jin, you're with me. Lieutenant Day, you have the bridge. June and his team went to the armory and put on spacesuits. They took simple weapons, stun batons and hand pulsers set to low power. They didn't want to kill the Zelnar crew, if they could avoid it. Boarding team ready, June reported as they entered the airlock. Bring us close enough for a direct dock. The Thunderbolt moved carefully, positioning itself above the damaged Zelnar scout. Magnetic clamps extended and locked onto the smaller ship's hull. We have secure connection, Day reported from the bridge. Their outer airlock is standard Confederation design. Good, June replied. We're going in. The team cycled through the airlock and used cutting tools to open the outer door of the Zelnar ship. Once inside, they sealed it behind them and opened the inner door. The air inside was breathable for humans, but had a strange metallic smell. The corridor was narrow, with dim purple lighting. Life signs? June asked through his comm. 4 life forms detected, came the reply from the bridge, all in what appears to be the command center. The team moved carefully through the ship. The Zelnar were known for setting traps for boarders. This is strange, Hana said, looking at a control panel. This ship has been heavily modified. Some of this technology isn't Zelnar design. Can you tell whose it is? June asked. No, but it's advanced. Maybe even beyond Confederation standards. They reached the door to the command center. It was sealed. They know we're here, Jin said. June nodded. Hana, can you override the door? She examined the control panel. Yes, but it will take a few minutes. Do it. While Hana worked, June turned to Director Tae. What do you make of these modifications? Tae was studying a section of exposed circuitry. This is troubling. Some of these components, they remind me of our own quantum technology. Not identical, but similar principles. That's impossible, June said. Quantum displacement technology is unique to Earth. Not anymore, it seems. Tae replied grimly. Hana finished her work on the door. Ready to open on your command. June positioned himself in front of the door, weapon ready. Open it. The door slid open, revealing the command center of the Zelnar scout. 4 figures stood inside, tall and thin with gray-green skin and large black eyes. Zelnar. Don't move, June ordered, pointing his weapon at them. The Zelnar did not resist. One of them, wearing an ornate collar that marked him as the captain, stepped forward. Humans, he said in heavily accented standard Galactic. You have made a grave mistake. You were spying on us, June replied. In a ship with technology you shouldn't have. Explain. The Zelnar captain's face showed no emotion. We do not answer to primitive species. Kill us if you must. Others will come. Search the ship, June ordered the team. Download all data from their systems. I want to know who they've contacted and what they know about us. While the others worked, June kept watch on the Zelnar crew. They remained still, watching the humans with their large, unblinking eyes. Commander, Hana called from a console. I've accessed their logs. They've been tracking us for weeks. They know about the Thunderbolt. June felt a chill. How did they find us? Unknown. But there's more. They sent a transmission to their fleet before we disabled them. The fleet is coming. Estimated arrival 6 hours. The situation had just become much worse. How many ships? At least 5, including a heavy cruiser. Even with the Thunderbolt's advanced weapons, those were bad odds for their first real combat. Download everything, then return to the ship, June ordered. We're taking the Zelnar with us. The aliens were secured and brought aboard the Thunderbolt. Once the team was back, June ordered the scout ship released. Target their power core, he told Jin once they were at a safe distance. Kinetic rounds only. The Thunderbolt fired again. This time the scout ship exploded in a bright flash of light. Set course for the jump point, June ordered. Maximum speed. We need to be gone before their fleet arrives. As the human warship accelerated away, June went to the detention area where the Zelnar were being held. Why were you following us? He demanded of the captain. The alien regarded him coldly. You humans are arrogant. You think your little ship is a secret? Your quantum technology? We have known about it since before your first test. How? The Zelnar's mouth twisted in what might have been a smile. You have traitors among you. Humans who understand that your species is not ready for such power. June kept his face neutral, though inside, anger flared. Who? That would be telling. The Zelnar said. But know this, human. Your ship violates the natural order. The Confederation will not allow it to exist, and neither will the Zelnar Empire. You attacked our colony, June replied. You killed thousands of innocent people. The Thunderbolt exists because of what you did. New Sol Colony was building weapons in violation of treaties. We were justified. They were building farming equipment. The Zelnar captain blinked slowly. Is that what your government told you? Interesting. June returned to the bridge, troubled by the conversation. The Thunderbolt was now approaching the jump point that would take them out of the Beta Hydri system. Ready for jump, Lieutenant Day reported. Where to, Commander? Officer Min asked. June considered their options. Running and hiding had kept them alive, but the Zelnar had found them anyway. And now they knew Earth had betrayed them. Set course for the Procyon system, he decided. Sir? Day looked surprised. That's a heavily patrolled area. Exactly. The Zelnar won't expect us to go there. And it's where Admiral Kwan said there was Zelnar activity. I want to see for myself what they're doing. Commander? Hana approached with a datapad. I've analyzed some of the data from the Zelnar ship. There's something you should see. She showed him a star chart. Several systems were marked with Zelnar symbols. What am I looking at? June asked. These are staging areas for Zelnar military forces, Hana explained. Far more than they're supposed to have under Confederation treaties. And this one, she pointed to a system near Earth, shows a fleet gathering, a large fleet. June studied the chart with growing concern. They're preparing for war. It appears so, and Earth is the target. June straightened up. The time for hiding was over. Change of plans, he announced to the bridge crew. We're going back to Earth. Our people need to know what's coming. The Confederation patrols will be looking for us, Jin reminded him. Let them look, June said firmly. The Thunderbolt was built to protect Earth. It's time we did our job. As the massive warship prepared to jump, June thought about what the Zelnar had said about traitors. When they reached Earth, they would need to be careful. Very careful. Jump. Drive's ready, Day reported. Take us home, June ordered. In a flash of energy, the Thunderbolt disappeared from the Beta Hydri system, heading back to the world it was built to defend, a world that might now see them as criminals. The HSS Thunderbolt dropped out of jump space near Pluto. Earth was still hours away, but June wanted to approach carefully. After all, they were now considered rogues by their own government. Activate full stealth systems, June ordered. Make us look like a standard cargo hauler. Director Tay worked quickly at his station. Diffusion array active. To all sensors, we now appear to be the cargo ship Star Wanderer from Mars Colony. Any ships in the area? June asked. Jin checked the long-range sensors. 3 Confederation patrol ships near Jupiter. 1 Zelnar vessel near Earth. That was troubling. The Zelnar shouldn't have military ships this deep in human space. What? About Earth defenses? Full alert status, Jin reported. All defense platforms are active. The home fleet is deployed in defensive formation. Something big was happening. Had the Zelnar already made their move? Open a secure channel to Admiral Kwan, June ordered. Use the emergency protocols. Officer Min worked her communications panel. Channel open, but there's a lot of interference. Someone is jamming communications near Earth. June leaned forward. Admiral Kwan, this is Commander Park of the Thunderbolt. Do you copy? Static filled the speakers, then a broken voice came through. Park? Is that... Static? Where have you... Static. Under attack. We're approaching Earth now, June replied. What's happening? More static then. Zelnar fleet. Static. Diplomatic meeting was a trap. Static. 7 ships already. Destroyed. Static. Need help. The transmission cut off. Get it back, June ordered. Min tried but shook her head. The jamming is too strong. I can't re-establish contact. June made a quick decision. Set course for Earth, maximum speed, prepare all weapon systems. But sir, Lieutenant Day said, if we reveal ourselves, the Confederation will... The Confederation doesn't matter now, June interrupted. Earth is under attack. That's why we built this ship. The Thunderbolt accelerated toward Earth, its powerful engines pushing it faster than any human ship had gone before. As they approached Mars orbit, they could see flashes of light near Earth. The signs of a space battle. Magnify the Earth sector, June ordered. The main view screen zoomed in, showing a horrifying scene. At least 20 Zelnar warships were attacking Earth. The human defense fleet was fighting back, but they were outnumbered and outgunned. 3 defense platforms were already destroyed, and several human ships were drifting, damaged beyond repair. Incoming transmission, Min announced. It's on all frequencies. Put it through, June said. The screen showed a Zelnar commander standing proudly on his bridge. People of Earth, the alien said. Your deception has been discovered. Your illegal weapons research ends today. Surrender now and we will spare your major cities. Resist, and we will reduce your civilization to ash. The message repeated. They're using our own excuse against us, Hana said quietly, claiming we violated treaties. But they were already planning this attack, Jin pointed out. We saw it in their data. June nodded grimly. This was never about treaties. They fear us. They fear what humanity might become. He studied the tactical display. The Zelnar fleet was positioned between the Thunderbolt and Earth. Their main flagship, a massive vessel nearly twice the size of the human warship, was directing the attack. We need to break through and help our fleet, June said. Suggestions? We could try to slip past using the diffusion array, Director Tay offered. Make them think we're one of their own ships. Too risky, Jin countered. Their recognition protocols will spot us. Hana spoke up. What if we don't hide? What if we show them exactly what we are? Everyone looked at her. The Thunderbolt was built to be powerful enough to make enemies think. Twice, she explained. Let's make a statement they can't ignore. June considered this. It was bold, perhaps even reckless. But they were out of options. Disable the diffusion array, he ordered. Let them see us coming. Lieutenant Day, plot a course straight through the center of their fleet. Jin, target their flagship with all weapons. Sir, Jin said carefully, if we use the quantum disruptors on their flagship... I know, June replied. It will be the first time we've used them on a crewed vessel. But those Zelnar ships are killing our people right now. We do what we must. The Thunderbolt accelerated toward the Zelnar fleet, no longer hiding its true nature. On the tactical display, June could see the enemy ships reacting to their approach. They've spotted us, Jin reported. Multiple ships breaking off their attack. On Earth to intercept us. Good, June said. That gives our fleet some breathing room. Open a channel to all ships, Earth and Zelnar. Min opened the channel. You're broadcasting, sir. June spoke clearly. This is Commander June Park of the human warship Thunderbolt. To all Zelnar vessels, you are attacking a sovereign world without provocation. Withdraw immediately, or be destroyed. The response was immediate. 3 Zelnar cruisers changed course, heading directly for the Thunderbolt. They opened fire from long range, energy beams streaking across space. Evasive maneuvers, June ordered. The massive warship moved with surprising agility, avoiding most of the incoming fire. The few hits that connected were absorbed by the shields. Shields holding at 92%, Hana reported. Their weapons aren't as strong as we feared. Return fire, June ordered. Kinetic accelerators only. Let's see how they hold up. The Thunderbolt fired its first salvo. Dense projectiles launched at near light speed, crossing the distance in seconds. They slammed into the lead Zelnar cruiser. Its shields flared and collapsed, and the ship itself was torn apart by the impact. A hush fell over the bridge. The Thunderbolt had just destroyed a Zelnar warship with a single volley. "Target the next cruiser," June ordered, his voice steady. Again, the human warship fired. Again, a Zelnar vessel was destroyed. The third cruiser tried to turn away, but it was too late. A third volley reduced it to drifting debris. On the tactical display, June could see the rest of the Zelnar fleet reacting. Several ships that had been attacking Earth now turned toward the Thunderbolt. "They're coming for us," Jin reported. 8 ships, including their flagship. "Good," June said. "That's 8 ships that aren't firing on Earth." He opened the channel. Again. "This is your final warning. Withdraw from Earth space immediately, or we will destroy every ship in your fleet." The Zelnar flagship responded with a full barrage of weapons fire. The Thunderbolt shuddered under the impact. "Shields at 85%, Hana reported. "No critical damage." "Take us in closer," June ordered. "Target their flagship with quantum disruptors." The Thunderbolt moved toward the heart of the Zelnar fleet, firing its conventional weapons as it went. 2 more enemy ships were crippled or destroyed. The remaining Zelnar vessels concentrated their fire, but the human warship's defenses held. "In range for quantum disruptors," Jin announced. June hesitated for just a moment. Once this line was crossed, there was no going back. Humanity would be forever known as the species that created a weapon of such terrible power. But as he watched more Earth ships being destroyed, he made his choice. Fire. The quantum disruptors activated. There was no beam, no explosion, just a ripple in space that spread from the Thunderbolt to the Zelnar flagship. When it hit, the massive alien vessel simply dissolved. One moment it was there, a huge warship with thousands of crew. The next, it was nothing but a cloud of particles floating in space. The effect on the battle was immediate. The remaining Zelnar ships stopped firing. Some began to turn away. "They're retreating," Jin reported, his voice filled with awe. June reopened the channel. "This demonstration is over. Leave Earth space now, and we will allow you to withdraw. Stay and none of your ships will survive." The Zelnar fleet didn't need to be told twice. One by one they jumped away, fleeing the human warship that had just revealed itself to be the most powerful vessel in known space. As the last enemy ship disappeared, cheers erupted from the Thunderbolt's crew. They had done it. They had saved Earth. "Incoming transmission from Earth Defense Command," Min announced. "It's Admiral Kwan." The Admiral appeared on screen, his uniform dirty and his face streaked with sweat. Behind him, the command center was damaged, with emergency lights flashing. "Commander Park," he said, his voice filled with emotion. "It seems I owe you an apology and a thank you." "Just doing what the Thunderbolt was built for, sir," June replied. "Come home, Commander," Kwan said. "The President wants to thank you, personally, and we have a lot to discuss about Earth's new place in the galaxy." As the Thunderbolt approached Earth, June looked at his crew. The people who had been branded as rogues and criminals for building a ship that was too powerful to be legal. Now, they were heroes. "Send a message to all Earth ships," he told Min. "Tell them the Thunderbolt is coming home." But even as they celebrated, June couldn't forget what they had learned from the Zelnar prisoners. There were traitors among humanity. People who had tried to stop the Thunderbolt from being built. People who might still be in positions of power. Their war wasn't over, it was just beginning.